is the PCSRA Radio Network and the Blue Hedgehog TV. We now interrupt your regular scheduled programming for the following sports special. This copyrighted broadcast is presented by the authority of the National Association of Professional Racing Leagues Incorporated for the private use of our audience. Any reproduction or rebroadcast, retransmission, or other dissemination or the use of this broadcast, descriptions or accounts of this show without the express written consent of the National Association of Professional Racing Leagues Incorporated is prohibited. On the PCSRA Sports Network from Learfield IMG College. Welcome to the PCSRA Paddock Pass Show. We're glad that you're here to start a new journey of the PCSRA as the chase for the 2021 championships begin. Welcome to the PCSRA Paddock Pass on the PCSRA Radio Network as we get ready to bring you all the racing for the 2021 season. Today's broadcast has been brought to you by Budweiser, Love's Travel Stops, iHeartMedia, The Oklahoman, Newcastle Casino, Devon Energy, Sonic Drive-Ins, and by the Oklahoma Highway Safety Office, where we encourage all of you fans that together we can end DUI. Now, for the greatest show on earth from today's episode of the PCSRA Paddock Pass from Yukon, Oklahoma, here's the voice of the PCSRA, Daniel Voiles. Hello and good evening and welcome here to Triple P as the PCSRA is on the air here on the PCSRA Radio Network, the Blue Hedgehog TV, and all of that good stuff. What a crazy weekend we've had so far this past weekend, and we can't wait to bring it to you all. Welcome to the It Is Too Damn Hot Outside because it's like 127 degrees edition of the Triple P show. After watching some hot tempers and all that in around the entire USA, we settle into our PCSRA studios to talk about this great race weekend so far. The assembled expert panel are ready for another round of sights and analysis in our PCSRA studios, including what could it be for most of us. So we'll welcome the program in just a few minutes as gonna get ready to see what's going on in a minute. We'll welcome our panelists in just a second here, so we're gonna go ahead and get this paparazzi going as far as that is concerned. So that being said, let's go ahead and kick off, as we can't see my deal for some reason. Hang on a second. There we go. So yeah. Today's installment of Triple P, we're going to recap the Texas weekend as well as Stafford and as well as Detroit. Going to throw a disclaimer for a further evaluation into Detroit. Don't forget to tune in to tomorrow with me for coverage of the IMSA podcast. Hope you'll join us for that. Back to the discussion in hand as we're getting ready to start off Triple P and all that good stuff. I'll bring up something important coming up regarding about one of my roommates, so there you go. So, yeah. Let's start off with the results from Stafford, just to get that out of the way. So the full field results for Stafford, something I normally don't say. It was really a good race if you ask me. Doug Colby won the race. Greg Biffle second. Tony Stewart third. Elio Castroneves fourth. Fifth is Bobby Labonte. Sixth is Ernie Francis Jr. Seventh, Tony Kanaan. Willie T. Ribbs eighth. Paul Tracy ninth. Marco Andretti finished 10th. Michael Waltrip and Bill Elliott round out the field in that race. Then we go to the IndyCar Series race for a doubleheader in Belle Isle, which we're glad to be back in Belle Isle for the first time in 2 years after last year's events were canceled due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Nothing happened until lap 23, the most scariest incident of the day, which was really scary. Felix Rosenqvist going into turn going through 5, he was going smoothly, and then when he got to 6, got on the brakes, throttle hung, slammed into the tire wall, which broke part of the wall and the fencing, if you know what I mean. The race had to be red flagged for a couple of hours to get Rosenqvist out of the car. He was okay after lifting the visor on his helmet, but he was okay. He was taken to the medical center, then taken to a local hospital. He was later then released. He was unable to race the next day in that regard. Jimmy Johnson had a mechanical failure. Roman Grosjean hit the wall coming towards the final few corners of the circuit. Everything else was alright. Grosjean's incident brought out a second and final red flag, which IndyCar officials red flagged the race to get a green flag finish. And Marcus Ericsson, an ex-Formula One driver, took home the checker flag in the victory. So the top 10 results for race 1 for the IndyCar Series. Marcus Ericsson, the winner. Rinus VeeKay second. Patricia Ward third. I'll talk about VeeKay in our top story news. Paddock Award third. Takuma Sato fourth. Graham Rahal fifth. Santino Ferrucci sixth. Alexander Rossi seventh. Scott Dixon eighth. Ed Jones ninth. And Joseph Newgard completed the top 10. It was a different story in race number 2, however. If I can get to the race 2 results, give me 1 second. There we go. The race 2 race was interesting. Oliver Askew was called in to fill in for Felix Rosenqvist. He had a mechanical failure and finished out of the race. Only full course caution was Roman Grosjean's car caught on fire, but unlike what happened in Bahrain last year, he got out of the car quickly, got to safety, and, well, good thing because he nearly lost his life in Bahrain. The rest of the race was pretty interesting, and Pato O'Ward, when it was all said and done, took home the checker flag in that race. The top 10 results in race 2 for IndyCar. Pato O'Ward 1, Joseph Newgarden 2nd, Alex Palou 3rd, Colton Herta 4th, Graham Rahal 5th, Will Power 6th, Scott Dixon 7th, Simon Pagenaud 8th, Marcus Ericsson 9th, Santino Ferrucci completes the top 10. Then we go to the Truck Series race at Texas Motor Speedway. I did not watch because I was at work because I had a very, let's say, a very screwed up day at work. So, yeah. First 2 incidents, Sheldon Creed got up into the PJ1. not once but twice, lost the back of the truck. The first time he got the back of the wall. The second time he got the front end of the back of the truck, excuse me. The second time he got the front end of the truck. His day was done. Ray Ciccarelli spun out in turn number 2, which ended stage 1. That went to John Hunter Nemechek. Then Carson Hocevar got into the right rear of Stuart Friesen down the back straightaway, sent Stuart Friesen into the inside wall going into turn number 3, brought out a yellow there. Then a mechanical failure for Jennifer Jo Cobb as she came to a stop on track, came to a stop on pit road. Then Drew Dollar crashed coming towards the end of stage number 2 as he lost the back of the truck underneath Haley Deegan and sent his truck into the wall. He was okay, but his day was done. That ended stage 2, which was won by Zane Smith. Nothing else happened in Zane 3, and at the end of the day, John Hunter Nemechek took the checker flag and won the Truck Series race. He's like the most dominant driver in the world in the Truck Series. Ross Chastain originally finished third, even though he wasn't going for points, was disqualified for a throttle thing that was illegal in the car, if you know what I mean. And as a result, he failed post-race inspection, was disqualified, and, well, the rest was history, if you know what I mean. So, the top 10 results for the truck race after everything gets all settled up. John Hunter Nemechek won, which he passed Tech. Chase Elliott second. Grant Enfinger moves up to third. Austin Hill fourth. Chandler Smith fifth. Zane Smith sixth. Todd Gillen seventh. Tyler Ingram eighth. Tanner Gray ninth. And Josh Berry completes the top 10. Moving to the Xfinity Series race, I missed it as well for the same reason as the truck race. Work. And I also missed the Cup race because I had to leave work early and did not return, and you'll hear my little excuse why I did that in just a second. I'm only going to I'll pull the open in a minute. Competition yellow, no surprise there. Nothing else happened in stage 1. That was won by Austin Cindric, the defending race winner, which should have been Kyle Busch, but he failed Tech last year. First actual incident, Josh Berry turned Jeff Burton into the inside wall. Jeff Burton had some pretty significant damage on the left front of his car. Nothing else happened in stage number 2. That was won by Kyle Busch, the Candyman. Then a big wreck on the front straightaway involving the 5 of Matt Mills, the 6 of Landon Castle, the 23 this week, Tanner Berryhill, which his car went through the grass, and also Gray Golding. All drivers involved were okay. However, for the 52 and the 23, excuse me, they were done for the day. Stephen Parsons, Jeffrey Earnhardt had a collision on the back straightaway. Their days were done as well. Then the 15 of Colby Howell had gotten into the wall off turn number 2. I forgot to mention before the race started, Jordan Anderson had problems with their clutch, if you know what I mean. So there you go. In that regard. Then Brandon Jones spun off turn 4, which should have not been a yellow, but it was a yellow according to NASCAR, which I don't get it, but whatever. Josh Berry and the 2 of Myatt Snyder got together. Snyder goes into the inside wall. Then Harrison Burton backed his offer pad Toyota in the outside wall off turn 2. Everything else was fine, and at the end of the day, unfortunately, it ended on a pretty bad note as the Candyman, Kyle Busch, won the damn race. I am not surprised Kyle Busch won. If anybody's surprised about that, I'm not surprised about that. That's just my opinion, if you know what I mean, so. As and of course, Napa fans being a dumb fuck because I wasn't cussing him out because Napa fan's a fucking liar. But anyway. Top 10 results for the Xfinity Series race. Kyle Busch won, Justin Allgaier second, Austin Cindric third, Daniel Hemrick fourth, Brandon Jones fifth, AJ Allmendinger sixth, Noah Gragson seventh, Brett Moffitt eighth, Justin Haley ninth, and Michael Annett completed the top 10. Then we go to the Cup Series race, which they, unlike Trucks and Xfinity, which they were running for points, the Cup race was running for no points whatsoever. I'll just give you the rundown of what happened in the Open as well as the All-Star race. First incident, Bubba Wallace spun coming off turn number 2. No surprise there. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. got in the back of Chris Buescher. Buescher and Stenhouse continued on. Then contact between Chase Briscoe getting into Eric Jones, who came down into Daniel Suarez. Stage 1 was won by Ross Chastain. Stage 2 was won by... Eric Jones won Stage 1. Stage 2 was won by Ross Chastain. Eric Almirola ended up winning the race, and Matt DiBenedetto got the fan vote in that regard. When it came time for the All-Star race, however, it was an okay event. I mean, the only on-track incident was, or two on-track incidents. Christopher Bell spun off turn number 2 in that regard. Then, of course, round 1 concluded, round 2 concluded, round 3 concluded, blah, blah, blah. Then the final incident was Ryan Newman and Ross Chastain getting it together off turn number 4 and all that. And Kyle Larson, when it was all said and done, won the $1 million as he wins at Texas Motor Speedway. So, yeah, so the top 10 results for the Cup race. Kyle Larson won, Brad Keselowski second, Chase Elliott third, Joey Logano fourth, Ryan Blaney fifth, Alex Bowman sixth, William Byron seventh, Eric Almirola eighth, Kyle Busch ninth, and Kurt Busch completed the top 10. As I don't know what the fuck is going on with Napa Fan. I was doing that towards Steven, you dumb fuck. So, thoughts on the race. It was, shall we say, it was an okay race, to say the least. I mean, it could have been one of those races that could have been better, but I really think they should get rid of the All-Star race, in my opinion, because of the fact that, you know, that's just the thing. All right. If I had to rate the race weekend, Texas would get a 7. Detroit will get a 10 out of my book, and we'll talk about the IMSA race tomorrow. And then Stafford, I'll give it a 9 because why not? So let's get right into the top story news. Let me tell Cody something important. So, there are rumors that Valtteri Bottas could be leaving Mercedes and possibly going to Alfa Romeo, which I don't know if that sounds like a good thing or a bad thing and all that. I don't know what the hell is going on, but we'll have to wait and see. So, let me see. Ross Chastain's crew chief was fined $25,000 for something to do with the aeroducts, which got his crew chief ejected. So, throttle body on the 45 truck was a throttle body that was used previously, which was good for 1,500 miles, which was why Chastain's truck got disqualified. To be fair, he wasn't running for points anyway. I don't know if I have anything else in the top story news and all that, so. I did hear word Felix Rosenquist was released from the hospital. Rinus VeeKay may have to miss this weekend's event because of an injury that he had on a cycling accident, so we don't know if he'll be racing or not. We'll just have to wait and see on that regard. Little disclaimer, Newark is already underway. Daniel Falkingham currently leading at the Nashville Fairgrounds. So, yeah. Let me see here if I can find some other topics. Cole Custer's going to run the Dixie Vodka scheme this week. And, yeah. Just got word from J-Ski for the Atlanta deal. The July 10th Xfinity Series race at Atlanta will have a new green flag time of 3:30 Eastern, pushed back 30 minutes from the original 3 p.m. start time, if you know what I mean. So, I wish they would have just ran it at night, if you know what I mean. So, here was the controversy part of Texas and why I gave Texas a 7. People were complaining on social media about Texas Motor Speedway as far as the Cup race was concerned because of the fact that Texas Motor Speedway told fans you're not allowed to have coolers, which I think is kind of bullshit in my opinion. And yeah, so just my opinion on that ordeal, if you know what I mean. So, yeah, not sure why Texas Motor Speedway. If they don't allow coolers at Nashville, there's going to be some fans that are going to be really irate in that whole ordeal, if you know what I mean. So we'll have to wait and see if that's going to be the case or not. So, by the way, Napa fan has been given a warning for talking shit to me in my DM on Discord, so if he does it again, he will be automatically banned from my server because I'm not going to put up with this shit any fucking more. So, because Napa fan's nothing but a fucking idiot, so. I mean, he's throwing the bullshit to me, he's saying I cussed him out. That's total bullshit. And plus, his comment just got reported, so there you go. So, anyway, yeah, hi Great Lakes, by the way. Yeah, because Napa fans are fucking racist and all that, so. Let's pull up our This Day in History while we are at it. Yeah, This Day in History, that's what I'm looking for. Excuse me, I just belched. If he's saying I cussed him out, then I think Napa fan has a misunderstanding in that whole regard, so. But I don't care, because he's none but a lazy retard anyway, so. Today is the 15th of June. What happened on this day in history? Exactly. PowerQuest and I might agree on the fact that I think I might just leave fucking Discord because it's too toxic, if you ask me, so don't at me on the toxic part or else you will regret. So, what happened on this day in history? New York Mets traded Tom Seaver to the Reds for Pax Zachary on this day in 1977. On this day in 1980, Jack Nicklaus set new tournament scoring record 272 to win his 4th Open title. That's big news there. On this day in 1986, Ray Floyd wins his 4th and final major, 2 strokes ahead of Chip Beck and Landy Watkins. San Antonio beat the New Jersey Nets to win the NBA championship, so congratulations them. Detroit Pistons beat the Lakers 187 in Game 5 to complete one of the greatest upsets in NBA history. Bruins beat the Canucks 4-0. Bruins ended a 39-year Stanley Cup drought. Yeah, fudge. And that's fine, dude. So, 2015 Stanley Cup Final. Blackhawks beat the Lightning 2-0 for a 4-2 series victory. Blackhawks 6th title. On this day in 2019, New Orleans Pelicans sent forward Anthony Davis to the Lakers for Brandon Ingram, Lonzo Ball, Josh Hart, 3 future first-round draft picks, including 2019's number 4 pick, which was the right decisions. Happy birthday time! Jeremy Reed, happy birthday to him. Zach Day, happy birthday to him. Jesus Christ. Dahumi77880, thank you for the follow. Scared the shit out of me. And that is your This Day in History. So, yeah. Alright. So, with that all taken care of, I'm trying to figure out... Shut up, me. I'm trying to talk. By the way, I like your picture in the background, Great Lakes. So, yeah. Alright, let's preview. We have a lot of races to preview. We have this weekend's events coming up. They are as follows. If you know what I mean. Which ones? Let me find my Triple P deal. Give me 1 second. That is not that. I'm looking for the agenda. Thank you very much. So we got Darwin, which supercars are back after a month hiatus because of the fact of their race weekend postponed due to COVID-19 travel restrictions, which they're still fearing about fucking COVID. Fuck. I bet Annie Thomas better go smack the fucking Prime Minister of Australia, if you know what I mean, so. We have France with Formula 3 and Formula 1. We have Mexico, Monza, Nashville, and Road America. I just want to tell Cody this. So there you go. Let me ask the panelists if they can come join me for the VC for predictions. So let me do that in a minute. Let me get them in here. Alright, there we go. So, starting with... go back to my agenda. Darwin, I think, is going to be a good race as far as supercars are concerned. France, we're back after a crazy race weekend in Azerbaijan. Should be interesting. Mexico for Formula E, they're back after a long hiatus. Monza for DTM, their opening round of the championship. Nashville and Road America. Road America should be fun as usual, and Nashville is going to be interesting for the first race in a decade, so yeah. So yeah. Alright, should be interesting to see how those races will play out. With that being said, let's get right into the predictions. We have a lot of predictions to go over. For those of you new to the channel, if you do not know how our predictions go, it goes like this. Driver to win, driver to stay away from, driver you predict as the dark horse. 1 point per category, and a lot of global I'm going to have to get caught up on. Let's see. Darwin, France, Mexico, shit. Majority, there's like 5 global races I'm going to have to do tallies on. Oh, fuck me. So... yes, and after the points, I need to throw a little disclaimer. I just received some news from Patrick Watson that I need to pass along before we start predictions. Going into this weekend's global standings, if I can find the global standings, here they are. Yours truly has only a 4-point lead. I have 129 points to Cody Smart's 125. Zachary Taylor is in third at 105 points. Nathan Orman, 103. Brendan Rogers, 47. Cody Goforth, 41. The NASCAR standings entering Nashville after the All-Star race. Cody Smart still has the points lead, but it's only a 31-point lead over Zachary Taylor in second. Nathan Orman is third at 98. Yours truly in fourth at 70. Great Lakes, Cody Goforth tied with fifth at 18. Kyle England, Brendan Rogers tied for 7th at 17, and Q-Man is in last place at 11. Oh yeah, SRX, if anyone's wondering, SRX this week is at Knoxville, so. And I need the entry list for Knoxville, which I need to pull that up. I'm actually going to do that one first. Drivers. I need the drivers for Knoxville, if you know what I mean, so. So let's, championship. That's not what I want. I want current season. Drivers. Okay, here we go. This week is Brian Brown in the 21 for Knoxville. So that's good. So we have Brian Brown, who is going to join the party. Join the other full-time competitors. So that is the drivers. This week is Scott Bloomquist and Haley Deegan for this weekend. So that means Haley Deegan is going to be doing double duty, if I'm not mistaken. So she's going to run the truck race and the SRX race, which could be interesting, if you know what I mean. So we'll see how it goes. Everything else, you probably basically already know. So I'm going to go ahead and get to my predictions since nobody else is in the VC with me. So, yeah. Starting with... I'm going to start with SRX, because why not? Okay, driver to win, SRX. In my opinion, this is one of those picks that says, who is a good dirt track person? And when I know a good dirt track person, I'm going to say he's going to be the favorite to win. I am going to say... I'm going to say Scott Bloomquist as driver to win. Driver stay away from. Boy, this is one of those picks that says scream out for the deal. I've noticed some drivers are not good dirt racers, and I think it's going to be pretty bad, if you know what I mean. I don't think Trans Am's done dirt racing. I'm going to say Ernie Francis Jr. is the driver to stay away from. Dark horse, I'm going to go Tony Stewart, because he would be a good fit for dirt racing. Next one, I'm going to do IndyCar. Driver to win. We're coming back to a road course that I think is going to be a perfect fit. I'm going to take Alex Palou as driver to win. Driver stay away from. He's never raced on a road course before at Road America, and I just think with the fact that, yeah, he's a rookie, it's not going to be impressive. I'm going to say Jimmy Johnson as driver stay away from. Dark horse, I'll go with Scott Dixon because he's a legend at Road America. Formula E next for me. Driver to win the Formula E race. Oh boy. And by the way, Jack has not left the house because they had to go get my roommate in the who's in the hospital again. Driver to win. To me, I feel like this is one of those picks that says, scream me out, scream me out, scream me out, if you know what I mean. I don't know how I'm going to say this, but it's really one of those picks that says, you better go with your gut. Right now, I'm going to say Renee Rass as driver to win. Driver stay away from. I feel like, to me, this is one of those picks that says, I don't know if I'm going to trust the gods on this. I'm going to say Alex Lynn as driver stay away from. Dark horse. I'm going to take Mitch Evans as dark horse. Let me throw a little disclaimer on Formula E. It is a doubleheader event. This is to make up for Mexico, by the way, if you know what I mean. So, there you go. Supercars. Driver to win. I'm going to go with Jamie Whincup as driver to win. Driver stay away from. I don't know about you guys, but to me, when you talk about how crazy this is going to be for me, and I just don't know how this is going to go, but it's going to be interesting to see what my pick is. If I had to say who I'm going to take for driver to stay away from, based off what I've seen so far, it's tough to pick this driver, but because of the fact that I think he just cannot get a break and all that, I just don't know how it's going to be for him. I'm going to say Jack Smith as driver to stay away from. Dark Horse. Today, I said to myself, I'm going to have to see if I could trust Fabian Coulthard because of the fact of his good talents in a way that I'm going to say. And you know what? I'm going to take him. I'll take Fabian Coulthard as Dark Horse. For DTM, yes. Yes, bear with me. We'll get to the NASCAR part. Just bear with me. This is a lot of predictions, my friends. Especially for me, because we haven't had this in a while, so, of who we got. Alright. Alright. Driver to win as far as DTM is concerned. I gotta figure out who's on the entry list. Dagnabbit, that's not what I want. This is what I want. Driver to win. I'm going to say Sheldon Vanderlyn as driver to win. Driver stay away from. To me, this is one of those picks that says, scream me, scream me, scream me. I'm going to say Sophia Flores as driver to stay away from. Dark Horse, Marco Whitman. Just to get that out of my freaking system. For Formula 3, yes, we're almost done. We're almost done with Global. Then I'll give you my picks for NASCAR. Driver to win Formula 3. I think, to me, this is one of those races in France that says, yeah, throw me a damn coin and, throw me a damn coin and say, go for it. If I'm taking a driver who I think is going to be a driver to win in this regard, I'm going to say this is one of those picks that says, go for it. I know somebody did not update. Okay. I'm going to take the driver who just recently won at Barcelona. I'm going to take Dennis Hogger as driver to win. Driver stay away from. Considering how he really just didn't perform well in the first race of the season, I wouldn't be surprised about this person, but I'm going to have to pick him anyway. I'm going to take Kalen Frederick as driver stay away from. Dark Horse, I'm going to say Arthur Leclerc. His brother Charles has been on the podium in Formula 1. Speaking of Formula 1, I'm going to give you my F1 picks now. Driver to win. Considering the fact that, yeah, Lewis Hamilton has been on a winless streak, I feel like I just don't know if Mercedes is going. Every time we say, every week when we go to track, we're thinking, oh, Mercedes is going to win. They're going to win. Blah, 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 blah. Nope, it's the other way around. I'm going to take Sergio Perez as driver to win for the second race in a row. Driver, stay away from. Oh, for the love of God. Why do I always have to pick this person? Because if I had to choose a driver to stay away from, based off what I've seen so far, it's going to go to the purpose of why do I even bother hearing him in a way that is going to be very bad. I just don't know why I'm picking him, but I have to pick him anyway. I'm going to say Kimi Räikkönen as driver to stay away from. Dark horse, in my opinion, I don't know if I'm going to take the strategy of success or not, but it's going to be interesting to see what happens. I'm going to say Max Verstappen as dark horse. Alright, Global's finally done. Now to NASCAR, starting with the Truck Series. First, get rid of this. For trucks, when you talk about how interesting this race weekend is going to be, especially the fact that this is going to be a race that's going to go, it's been a while since we've raced here. Austin Dillon was the previous winner the last time these trucks were at Nashville Superspeedway. But when I think about my picks, and I was thinking about while I was doing my softball coverage, who am I going to take for driver to win? See ya, Jack. Have a good weekend, my man. Hopefully Daryl doesn't call you on your weekend. Alright. Anyway. Back to what I was talking about. I was being curious about this. I feel like, to me, this is one of those races that's going to go either way. Because some of these names have never raced here at Nashville before. Some people, like Kyle Busch, has raced at Nashville in the past, and I feel like this is where the opportunity comes to a big way. And to me, when you talk about Nashville, a track that's a 1.33 mile, and it's the first NBC race of the season, I'd like to point out. I also like to point out this is going to be a race that really could be a big factor in any way, shape, or form. So for driver to win in the truck race, as that's not the truck entry list, I'm going to say this driver had a very, I think could really be a factor in this regard, and I just think it's going to come down to him just succeeding in all of that. I am going to say Sheldon Creed will bounce back after a disappointing race at Texas, and he will be driver to win. Driver stay away from. I just feel like when you talk about Nashville Superspeedway, you talk about who really is going to who's been underwhelming this season. In my opinion, when you talk about underwhelming performances, you talk about the fact that you're talking about who could be really surprising and who could not. I'm thinking this one over because this is one of those harder, this is one of those I go, man, I really don't know who I'm going to pick. I really don't know. But to me, if I had to choose one driver based off what I've seen in the mile and a halves who's been really struggling, I have to pick him any way, shape, or form. I'm going to say Johnny Sauter as driver to stay away from. Dark horse. Who is a good dark horse? Who could be a good dark horse for Nashville? Dark horse for Nashville. This is a toughie. When you talk about Nashville Superspeedway and the Music City, as the last person that needs to interrupt me is one of my roommates. I will talk to him later. I'm gonna say John Hunter Nemechek as dark horse. Yeah, the last person who needs to interrupt me would be one of my roommates, is why I did this. So, for Xfinity, driver to win, no doubt, Kyle Busch, because I'd rather see him win 100, get it out of the way. Driver stay away from. I just don't know about you guys, but to me, when you talk about Nashville, you talk about one thing that really comes up to mind. Who is really, I think, going to have a terrible time at Nashville, and who could have a terrible time as far as that's concerned? I just now noticed Joe Graff Jr. is driving the 17 for some reason, but that's interesting. So, because J.J. Haley's in the 07 for some reason. I don't know why he's in the 07. But anyway, I'm going to take a driver that I feel like has been really underwhelming and has not been succeeding as far as finishes are concerned, and you need to have good finishes if you're going to succeed. And on that note, I am going to say Brett Moffitt as driver to stay away from. Dark horse, I just don't know who I'm going to take. It's really one of those toss-up picks that says, go for it. I'm going to say Austin Cindric as dark horse, because he's been performing really good at tracks. Even though he's never raced at Nashville, it's going to be interesting to see how he does. For Cup, funny stat, I just want to point this out. The last couple of inaugural races, Kyle Busch won the inaugural race at Kentucky in 2011. Ryan Blaney won the inaugural race at the Charlotte Roval 3 years ago. I feel like when you talk about inaugural events, it's always been a Ford or a Toyota that steals the spotlight. And I have to take this driver because of the fact that his success is really good, and I think he's going to probably pull an Xfinity Cup sweep. I'm going to say Kyle Busch is driver to win. Driver stay away from. I feel like when you know me really well, inaugural races are never good for drivers in the in other shops. I feel like inaugural races have been really bad, but I looked at the Cup entry list, and I feel like there's one team who's been really been slacking this season, and when you consider the fact that this team has been really struggling, really not performing well, and it's kind of one of those that says, I don't know if I'm going to trust him in a way. But I feel like when you talk about SHR, I think it's going to come down to why I'm picking this driver. I'm sorry to Teal, but I'm going to say Kevin Harvick as driver to stay away from. Dark horse, I don't know how I'm going to put this up. You know, Brad Keselowski's won it this track. Joey Logano's won it Nashville in the Xfinity Series and all that. I don't know. I really feel like this is where it's going to come down, and I think one of those drivers have an advantage over the rest of the field. So with that being said, I'm going to take Brad Keselowski as dark horse. And that is my Triple P predictions, if you know what I mean. So there you go. Let's take a look at this week's upcoming events, brought to you by Kim K Coach Lines, the official motor coach carrier of the PCSRA. Right now we are in the just going to the second of a no score between Dolphins and Team Mexico. Next, after our fine, amazing program, join Lucky Prescott, Abigail Stone, and Prue Granger for the Pals podcast, which they're doing that, which they're really excited to talk about their day in Meridell. Speaking of Meridell, and speaking of those three characters I just got done talking about, this next week, we're actually going to be starting that LP up next week. Mark it on your calendars. It will be sometime next week. I'm going to start up the Spirit Lucky's Big Adventure next week while I'm still trying to get out the NBA videos, so there you go. So hopefully you'll look forward to that. The LP will be on my Twitch account, which if you guys want to add me on Twitch, link is down in the description. And that should be a fun thing. So, looking forward to bringing you guys another LP and another excitement, if you know what I mean, as far as that's concerned. So that's a look at this week's upcoming events, brought to you by Kim K Coach Lines, the official motor coach carrier of the PCSRA. For more information and details, visit kimkcoach.com. As my weekend guy, who normally would be here on Friday, but he is here today, Chucky is back, so hooray! Oh, I know what I was going to say. All of the PCSRA male and female drivers have went over to Great Lakes' house in El Paso, Texas, and they have they made Mexican tacos to cheer up Great Lakes. And Great Lakes says, okay, that is accepted. Great Lakes is having Mexican tacos with his drivers as well as the PCSRA drivers. Not accepted if you try anything. Great Lakes, I will accept that. Yes, you will. So, yeah. As far as looking at this week's upcoming PCSRA racing events, in less than a month from now, we have the TMSRA Invitational. We have the All-Star Game that I have to do. We have, of course, my LP I'm going to start doing. And we also have the NBA 2K21 career mode should be done sometime around July or August. So that will be a big relief. I don't know if I'm going to do 2022, but I might do 2023. But we'll just have to wait and see as far as that's concerned. So that is a look at this week's upcoming PCSRA Awesome Events, brought to you by Subway Eat Fresh, proud sponsor of Chloe Bumgarner, the number 84 Audi RS8. Few things I need to point out as we get ready to close off and wrap up the broadcast of the show, as that was so freaking creepy, their roommates. One of my roommates, Daryl, is back in the ER room. I do not have any word on his conditions as of right now. Until I get an update on his condition, I will pass it along as soon as I can. Also, in case you are not aware of the little announcement, if everything goes according to plan, there is a very good chance I might get engaged. When? We're talking about sometime in December, actually. So I bet you guys are very excited, and I know the Interlway don't give a shit about that. So there you go. So looking forward to that. Looking forward to see how that will take part and all that. The date on when I'm going to get engaged is yet to be determined. I will put a update on my social media posts and all that, yada yada yada. So hopefully you guys are looking forward to that announcement either way. And who knows, we might have an invitation for you guys to come join me, if you know what I mean. So we're looking forward to that. So the Oklahoma Highway Safety Office is a proud partner of the PCSRA and wants to remind all of our friends that drinking and driving is deadly and illegal. Together we can end DUI. Visit enduyok.com for more details. Special thanks to, well, even though I was by myself in the VC, but special thanks to always my awesome crew. Special thanks, and also I want to add these three people who got to be a part of the who is part of the awesome podcast that they're getting ready to do in a minute. Special thanks to my awesome crew, as always. Zachary Taylor, Cody Smart, Nathan Orman, Great Lakes, Kyle Langland, Quentin Moore, and all of our good friends. Our statistician, Caleb Hobbs, producer and engineer, Zachary Fitzwater, Jackie Ting, Alex Hawkins, Prue Granger, Lucky Prescott, Abigail Stone, Dennis Kelly, Tom Shores, and Daniel Anderson running the show for us back at our Learfield IMG College PCSRA studios in Norman. Final score one final time. In the championship game last week in the Women's College World Series, it was my OU Sooners 5, Florida State 1. Oklahoma has now won its 5th national championship, 3 of the last 5 years, and another championship coming home to Norman. So congratulations to them. Until next week, when we recap all of the races and we look ahead to Spielberg and also my awesome LP on Twitch, this is Daniel Villa saying, Sooners win! And Boomers Sooner, everybody! On the PCSRA Sports Network from Learfield IMG College, PCSRA Paddock Pass has been brought to you by Budweiser, Love's Travel Stops, iHeartMedia, The Oklahoman, Newcastle Casino, Devon Energy, Sonic Drive-Ins, and by the Oklahoma Highway Safety Office, where we encourage all of you fans that together we can end DUI. Thanks for joining us for the PCSRA Paddock Pass Show. The preceding has been a Learfield IMG College presentation on the PCSRA Sports Network. Copyright 2021 by the National Association of Professional Racing Leagues and the Pacific Coast Sports Racing Association.